Welcome to Soft Talk. Today's presentation is titled Nepal's Lessons Power, Decay, and Discretion. By the way, if you have not subscribed to this channel, I request you to subscribe to it, comment on our presentation, and press that like button if it touches your hearts and minds. That is, we are trying here to promote citizen journalism, a strain of journalism that is far from corporate feed and greed. And every support, every like, every subscription counts. So let's start. Close to the entrance of the historic Hanuman Dhoka Darbar Square, Nrisimha has already dealt with Hiranyakashyap. According to legend, Hiranyakashyap wrested a boon from Brahma, that is, the creator of the universe. According to Hindu mythology, after intense tapasya to avenge the slaying of his brother Hiranyakashyap, Hiranyaksha, that is, by Vishnu. Vishnu is the preserver in the divine scheme of things during his Paraha, that is, boar avatar, rendering this Hiranyakashyap almost invincible. He could not be killed by any being created by Brahma, neither by day nor by night, neither indoors nor outdoors, neither on land nor in the sky, nor by any weapon. As the Daitya king, powered by that boon, unleashed a reign of terror, Vishnu intervened, taking the form of Nrisimha, the man lion, to restore cosmic balance. The ingenuity of this intervention, this divine intervention, slaying Hiranyakashyap at twilight on a threshold with bare claws, finds a vivid expressions in a stone sculpture at the entrance. This is, by the way, AI representation of that slaying of Hiranyakashyap. You would just do well to visit the Hanuman Dhoka Darbar Square, one of the UNESCO monument zones, to just see that symbolic representation, that masterpiece of medieval art of Nepal. Okay, let's continue. It is not merely a relic of faith, but but a lesson in the calibrated use of power, even against an implacable foe. In retrospect, dealing with forces inimical to Nepal, a shadow of what used to be an empire in its own right, is no mean feat. Nepal's young, largely untested political leadership, born of protest and its brutal suppression on September 8, 2025, this leadership would do well to heed this lesson in statecraft. Power demands not brute force alone, but intelligence, timing, and constraint. Nepal's political leadership over the years, over the decades, seems to have just not learned its lessons, despite these grim reminders. Close by, the horse of Taleju Bhavani is a creature of his own free will. As I attempt a photograph, the horse does not flinch. You are looking at one of the greatest of their kind. My mind whispers, and I pause. Sacred things rarely yield to human will, don't they? A little ahead lies a striking image, a reclining Vishnu upon Sesnag, adrift in a drying pond, scripture and canopy, and Lakshmi. From the mystic Chir Sagar to a trickling pond in an urban sprawl, the decline is not merely ecological but civilizational too. There were some technical glitches, so I wonder if everything is all right. My companion informs me. My companion informs me that this modern construction, an intrusive shopping complex, has blocked the underground channels that once nourished this site, leaving heritage dry and divinity thirsty. Within one of the palace chambers, legend has it, divinity once played Pasa. That's a card game. That's a gamble with royalty in medieval secrecy. I hope you find all this interesting. A piece of Nepal's history. That's not that like uh, a distant history, if you will. Just 300, 400 years back, the history of a country whose written history is around 5,000 years old. It's one of the most ancient countries in the world. Jayaprakash Malla, a devoted follower of Taleju, was once granted a rare boon. The goddess would visit. He had this dream. The goddess Taleju, Taleju Bhavani, as we call it in Nepali, would visit him at night in mortal form to play and to counsel him in matters of governance, how to run the affairs of the statecraft, if you will. For a time, the arrangement held, offering the king both counsel and divine company. Even in those days, walls had ears. Today they come with eyes too. Time wounds all hills, and it did not deal kindly with the Malla king, as the history shows. One fateful night, the king he failed to play his cards close to his chest with disastrous consequences. What were those consequences? The goddess appeared in her full splendor that night, and the king, after all, he was a mortal. He could not restrain his gaze. Worse still, he had forgotten to bolt the door. The queen, she witnessed the scene and chaos ensued. Sensing impropriety and disrespect, the goddess vanished, leaving behind a curse that had a key role in shaping the destiny of modern Nepal. She would never return, and the king, he would soon lose his kingdom. Epilogue. In 1768, the kingdom of Kantipur, it fell to Prithvinaran Shaha, the king of Gorkha, on a campaign to reunify Nepal at the peak of British expansionism. Since then, much had changed. But there are things that have not changed much. As they say, the more things change, the more they remain the same. And that is what exactly applies to Nepal's rulers. Much has changed since, even as people in search of better lives continue to leave for the promised land, driven by corruption, misrule, and the absence of good governance, leaving a heaven on earth and straining its social fabric. Regimes have come and gone. Regimes have changed from monarchy to republic as the country continues to oscillate vigorously from one point of instability to another point of chaos. But the habits of power, they have proved quite stubborn. History suggests that rulers did not fall for lack of power, but failing to bridle it. The lesson endures in stone, in silence, and in the fate of those who ignored it. Nepal's current crop of leaders, they would do well to read the writings on the wall. With this remark, I wrap up this edition of Soft Talk. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening.